Hello guys, so today we are going to see the basic Selenium architecture and a little bit of how Selenium talks to the browser drivers and how the browser drivers talk to the actual browsers, and later we are going to create some API chainings to perform the actual browser automation without using the language bindings. So let's get started. So let's first see how Selenium is, what is the actual architecture of Selenium is like. So see this, I have taken reference from one of the website. So see first there is a Selenium language bindings, and they over this via protocol they talk to the browser drivers, and that those browser drivers perform the actual actions on the real browsers. Okay. So these language bindings you can take reference from this Selenium site. So whatever the language bindings you are comfortable with, you can download and add them to your build Java build path in Eclipse, and then you can write some codes, Selenium codes, to issue commands to browser drivers, and those browser drivers will perform the real browser action on the real browser. So, but today we are not going to use any language bindings. Without using language bindings, I'm going to automate the browsers. So, see, Selenium provides, as I have said, that Selenium talks to browsers using browser drivers. So, in order to talk to these browser drivers, so when I'm saying browser drivers, I mean this Chrome driver, Gecko. These are the browser drivers. Okay, these browser drivers actually perform the actions on the real browser like Chrome, etc. Okay. Okay. So Selenium provides some endpoints which you can use in order to issue the commands. Okay. So first, what we are going to do? First, we are going to start the Selenium server. Okay. So this is the Selenium standalone server. So it can be used for the grid implementation, Selenium grid, when there will be one hub and there will be multiple nodes which are going to means each node is going to perform automation on the hub, and so we are going to use the Selenium server standalone to issue commands. Means I am going to use this Selenium server standalone to talk to this Chrome driver to perform on the actual browsers. Okay, this way you can understand. And how I am going to talk to this Selenium server standalone is using this Postman. Okay. Okay, so let's first start the Selenium server. So in order to start the server, you have to do Java -jar and then this jar. Okay. Okay. So see, our Selenium server started. Okay. Now let's talk to this server. Okay, before talking to this server, let's first see this server. Okay, so we can close this and we can write like this. Okay, so see, this is the server page. Now there are no sessions as of now. Okay, so let's do this. First, I have to talk to this server. Okay, this server just started, and I'm going to talk to this server using this Postman. Okay, so in order to talk to this server, APIs are provided. You can go to this site and you can refer these APIs. Okay, endpoints. Okay, so see, it is very easy. they have given the HTTP method and endpoints and what it is actually going to do. So let's first check the server status. Okay, so this is, if you open this, so the endpoint is given and then some little bit of description and then what it is going to return. Okay, so let's hit the server. Okay, so what we are going to do, this is a get request. We will do like this. Status. Okay, now we will hit it. Okay, so it is going to say that server is running, that time version 3.141.59. This is the version of the server which we are using. Okay, okay, so now let's create one session. Okay, okay, so how we can create this session? Okay, so in order to create the session, we have to use this endpoint and with the post request. So here select post and then session. Okay, and then in the body you will have to give the desired capabilities. Okay, so here will be name of the browser. Let's see the format. Let us first see the format. This is the create new session. Now let's open this and see the format. Okay, this is the browser. So now if you will hit this, so it is giving us 500 server error because the desired capabilities we have not given right. The format is not right. So let's try one more time to set the desired capabilities the right way. Okay, so here, see, when we are going to hit this, it is going to talk to the server and start new session. Okay, now you have hit the server. Now you will see that here one browser will open and session, you see, browser open and one new session is created. Okay, so this session is created now and the browser has opened, and you can see that here whatever request you have sent is captured over here in the server command prompt. And here if you will go, if you are going to refresh this session, the same session ID you are going to see over here. Okay, ATY and all. Okay, so this is the session ID. Now let's navigate to an URL. So before navigating, we will first have to find the window handle. Okay, so let's first get the window handle. Okay, so when I'm going to send this is the get request. Okay, to get the window handles. Okay, so here you can see that this is the get request. So you have to make the get request. Okay, now if we are going to give it send, see, so this is our window handle. Okay, now after getting window handle, how we can maximize let's first maximize the browser. Okay, so this is the browser, but it is not in its maximum position, so we are going to maximize the browser. Okay, so this is the post request. You open this, so see, this is the maximize, this is the post request. So you have to give session ID, then window handle. Okay, so here it is session ID, then window, give it like this, window handle, and after that maximize command. See, oh, maximize. Okay, and in the body you do not have to give anything, and since it is the post request, select post, and now you have to hit the server, and browser is maximized. Okay, now let's navigate to any URL. So how to do this, how to navigate is using this endpoint. See, navigate to new URL. So for this they are using this endpoint. Okay, so go here, see, so we have to use like this, session ID, then URL. Okay, okay, so here we go, then we have session ID, we can delete these things, and then we have to give URL. Okay, and this will be a get request, sorry, this is going to be a post request only. Okay, and then JSON parameter is URL. Okay, so you have to give like this, URL https dot when I'm going to send this, it should navigate me to this URL. Okay, so harvard.edu cannot be reached, so maybe there is something wrong with this. Let's first check our university. Okay, so we'll see what is the right URL. Okay, So I guess there is some kind of problem with this. Okay, got it. Maximize this, close this. Now in place of URL, give what you copied. Okay, so here there is something wrong with the URL. So let's fire this again. Okay, we'll click on send. So guys, just want to tell you that see, this is for the learning purpose only, and work-wise, it won't be efficient enough to work like this. For the learning purpose, you can see that how we can issue command and how we are talking to the browser drivers. But when you want to automate, do not I would just say don't do miss. It is obvious that you are not going to use this method to automate your browser because it is very time taking. Already use the language bindings to make things faster, so it is taking time because the server is not responding quickly. So there is something wrong with this URL. Let's try Google. Let's cancel this. Let's try this guide.edu. This is another college. Let's try this. So let's send, and after navigation it should give us the response. Okay. There is something wrong. Let's cancel this. Okay. Okay. Let's do a fresh start. Okay. So we will give google.com, and when we are going to click on send button, it should immediately open the browser. Sorry guys, so there was some lag with the session, so I had to delete and recreate the new one. You see, suppose I want to navigate to any URL. Suppose I want to navigate to google.com, and when I click send, then it should navigate. It should land me to google.com. Okay, so here 200. Okay, and it is success. And if we go here, this is google.com. Okay, so this way you are going to perform the operations which are listed over here. This way you can automate the browsers. So what actually is happening is this, whatever and the request I'm sending to this server. Okay, this server which we started, and that server, I mean this one talks to this browser driver. Okay, Chrome driver in this Chrome case. If we were using Firefox, then this would have been talking to the Firefox browser. So for us, this Chrome driver, this server talks to Chrome driver, and this Chrome driver is performing actions on this browser. Okay, So I have automated a sample test case. So let's first delete this session. Okay. So we go here and we click on delete session. Let's click OK. Okay. So here no session is there. Okay. Right now. Okay. Now what we can do using these endpoints, I have created a API chain. Okay. So this is the first close this one. Okay. Okay, so see, you can see this Selenium Postman collection. Okay, so I have created a sample requests. Like, see, if we have 2, 4, 6, 8 requests, these 8 requests are going to create a new session. Like this first one is going to create the new session. Second request is going to fetch the current window handle. Third request is going to maximize the browser. Fourth one is going to navigate to a URL. Fifth one is going to find element, like in search box on Google search box, it is going to find that element. Then whatever element it has found, it is going to send some strings in that element. Now after that, it is going to click on search button, and then it is going to find the search button, and then it is going to click on that search button. Okay, so see, I'm going to show you each request. See, this is the create new session. So the way I have shown you, this is the post request, this is the endpoint I am using, and in the body I'm going to give the name of the browser. Okay, and it is this in this test I'm going to write some scripts which are going to create these environment variables which these APIs are going to use at runtime. Okay, so see, suppose this after hitting this URL, I am going to get the session ID. Okay, okay. So this session ID, what it is going to do? It is going to pass. See, from the response body, I am going to extract the session ID. Okay, and this session ID I am going to store in a variable. So if I want to see this, what is the session ID in the console look like? We have in IDs like Eclipse, IntelliJ, we have the console, and there at the runtime I can see the actual values. Okay, so this way, suppose in here, uh, uh, this if we click on this button, it is going to open Postman Console. Okay, so this Postman Console shows us the real-time values. Okay, so suppose let's clear this logs. Okay, suppose I click on this send button. So first it is going to show me the session ID, whatever from the response body it is going to fetch. It is going to show me that session ID in this console, and then in the environment variables, whatever variable I have defined over this for session ID I have defined. Okay, so session ID is this one right now. This in this variable it is going to, so let me clear this up one up. Okay, so I have cleared it up. Okay, let's clear this one up. Let's clear each one of them. Okay, okay, okay. So we have cleared everything. Okay, we have cleared all the environment variables. Now when I am going to run this, it is going to open one browser, create a new session, and in the console I'm going to see the session ID value, and that same session ID will be stored in the environment variables, which will be later on used is while creating the API next API request. Okay, so see, this one browser opened, This is status. Okay, so this session ID which I am fetching from the response body, we can see in the Postman console. Okay, see BA1. Okay, the same session ID we are going to see in this environment variables. Okay, because we are setting it here. Okay, okay, here. Okay, and what next is the same session ID we are going to see over here. Okay, so this way this API chaining works. So we have deleted the session. When we are going to refresh, it is okay. Let the first delete the session. Okay, so no sessions is open right now. Okay, now so this way it is going to work. Okay, so this was this was for creating the new session. Okay, let's close this one. Now this is for fetching the handle. So this session ID environment variables you have to give like this. Okay, so whatever environment variables I have after hitting the first creating the first means hitting the first API, whatever session ID I am fetching, that dynamic value I am going giving in double braces over here. Okay, so it is dynamically going to pull the session ID during the runtime, and it is going to use. Okay, so in order to get the window handle, yeah, we have to keep the body as empty, and in the test, so we have to use the window handle as well. So the same way we have stored session ID, we are going to use this window handle. Okay, we will going to store. It is going to store this window handle value in here. Okay, window. Okay. Now, in order to maximize the browser, you have to give the session ID window handle like this, and in the body you have to keep this empty. And in here we are not going to fetch anything. So leave this here. Okay. Now this one is important. See. So this one is you. We are going to find one element. Okay. In order to find the element, you have to use this endpoint, and we are going to find the element by name. And what is the value? Suppose we are finding the element by ID. So in place of name, we are going to give ID. If we are trying to find the element with X path, we are in the place of name, we are going to give X path over here. And in the value, we are going to give the value of the X path or ID, etc. Okay. So when we are going to give send, it is going to give us ID of that particular element, and that ID, the same way we are going to store in this environment variable search box ID. Okay, and then after search box ID we have to send some keys. Okay, so in send keys there is send keys. We have to in the endpoint we are dynamically fetching the session ID and putting it here, and then search box ID and putting it here, and in the body whatever string you want to send, you are going to send it here. Suppose in the Google search box I am going to send Sachin Tendulkar, so it is going to give, you have to give like this. Okay, and then click on search button, find the element of search button, then click on search. So this way I have created the API chains and to automate browser without using language binding. So let's start. So we are going to open the runner. Okay, so this runner runs the API collections. So let's first open the runner. Okay, we can close the console for now. Okay, so see, we have to run this collection. Okay, so you can see all the APIs which were there are populated over here. Okay, so when we are going to see how many times we are going to run, you are going to give it here. Okay, the environment variables which you defined. So let me show you. So the environment variables This is the name of the Selenium and this environment variable. Selenium environment variable. We have stored all our values. Okay. So we are going to use that particular environment variable. Selenium environment variable. Only once we have to use. Okay. You can give after so suppose we give 10, so each API will be created after 10 milliseconds. Suppose you have to give any data, supply any data, so you can select file over here. I am not going to supply more data. And when we are going to click on this, see, when we are going to click on this run button, or the APIs will start talking to the server. Okay, so clicked on this. So here the logs will start appending, and here you will see the browser will open. Then it is going to open the Google. Then it is going to search for Sachin Tendulkar, and then our tests will be completed. Okay, so it search and then click on search. Okay, so this process was automated using this. Okay, so see, we can see over here that what all APIs did, how much time it took, and what is the status code and all this way. We can put assertions over here in the test also. I have not put any kind of assertion because of this only it is saying this request does not have any test. But if you want, you can put assertion that is going to verify, and it on the based on that it is going to pass or fail. Okay, so this way we can do, and I hope you must have got idea, means a little bit idea of how this whole Selenium architecture works. Okay, so if you have guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. Thank you. Bye.